Okay. So I will be giving you the Pro Tools session for this. You're going to be getting it off of our server. And when you open it up, it will look like this. You'll have two audio clips. We're going to make right away two stereo instrument tracks. Let's see. I want to move these, but I want to unselect. So I just clicked on this one. I'm going to grab number 2 and put it down here. So I have audio, instrument, audio, instrument. This one I'm going to name Dua Lipa Drums. This one, I'm going to double click on it if I didn't already say that. And I'm going to call it SZA Drums. I'm going to insert. Actually, forget about inserting right away. As soon as I play this, demonetization, I don't have enough subs anyways. We'll see if they allow it. Whoa, that's loud. Let's turn it down. All right, so I'm going to count over this just so we get a sense of what we're dealing with here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. 4 measures. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. If you look at the grid here, it takes up more than 4 measures. We're into the 5th measure. That's because the default tempo, and I gave it to you like this because I want you to learn how to deal with it, is set to 120. This song is 110 BPM. So we need to change our tempo. But if you can anticipate, the SZA song is way slower. So I'm going to actually show you how to put in a tempo change. You will rarely do this until much later, but for the sake of this demonstration, it's easy enough, in my opinion. I'm going to hit return so that I'm at the very beginning of the session. I'm going to come up to this tempo ruler where it says 120, and I'm going to hit the plus sign. And this is essentially a tempo change. If you can't make that happen, it's possible that the conductor is deselected, at which point you can't really do tempo changes. So you have to have your conductor selected. And I'm going to put in 110, and I'm going to hit enter. And now you can see it's not perfectly 110. In fact, it's very close. But it's close enough for what we're going to do. And this is really here just to kind of get a sense of what we're trying to figure out by ear. I already did this, so I know what I'm doing, more or less. But I'm going to go through the process with you. You can feel it out with me. This is a different type of drum beat. It's called kind of 4 on the floor. Very common house music. Dua Lipa, a lot of her tracks. Don't Stop Now, is that what it's called? Same kind of groove. So anyways, we're going to come down here and insert battery again. We're going to use a different drum kit. I think this 8th Wonder kit is going to work well for this. I take that back. The funk kit. We're going to stick with the funk kit because we want a clap. There are many claps. We're just going to deal with this one. So our kick drum is C1, our clap is D sharp 1, and our closed hi-hat is G sharp 1. Don't worry, I'm going to be doing this with you. I'm going to go to my MIDI editor. I'm going to find C1, the number 1, and already I can tell you we are going to put a kick drum. I'm going to zoom out again so you just see the quarter notes. We're going to put, oops, I missed. If you miss, you can click and drag it over, or just don't miss. So far, that's 2 measures. Remember that we put in 4 measures. Keep doing weird stuff while I'm talking. So the kick drum, 4 on the floor, 4 quarter notes on the kick drum. Okay. D sharp 1 is our clap or our snare drum. It's taking the place of our snare drum. We are going to put that on 2 and 4 of each of these measures. Okay, if you need to pause and just look at what I've done here, it sounds like this. Right over here, we're going to hear a double clap. And this is what I want you to kind of, as we start to develop your ear for doing this stuff.
Under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride?
All right, so obviously it's not exactly, it's kind of a different sound, but it goes right there on the and of beat 3 of measure 4.
For the ride.
Hi-hats. I believe it's mostly eighth notes. I don't want to do eighth notes across here. I have a couple of choices what I could do. I could change my grid to eighths and change this to the line tool. I don't want to do that because there's actually some 16th notes in the pattern. So I am going to spend my time drawing, but I'm just going to do, oh, I didn't change my grid back to 16ths. I'm going to put in 4 of them. Okay, every other one. And I'm going to choose my grabber tool, select, option, click, drag. Select all of them, option, click, drag. And I think that's enough to kind of get me far enough. All right, let's listen. I'm not going to listen to my drums right now.
Under the lights, under the lights, diamonds under my eyes.
All right, so there's just, we're not going to do it exactly the same, but if you hear in the hi-hats, kind of thing, there's like a few spots.
Under the lights,
Like right there. You can't hear what I'm doing. I'm just listening to that.
under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up.
It's basically before every,
Under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride?
okay, so really what's happening here, who cares? We're just going to leave it like that. Okay, take a look at it. I think this is what we're doing.
Under the lights, diamonds under my eyes. Turn the rhythm up, don't you wanna just come along for the ride?
Let's listen to that in a loop by itself. So I can either solo my drums or I can mute the original track. Okay, now, is there another way that we could have done this? Of course. Always a bunch of different ways. I could have said, you know what? All of these measures, except for this one where there's the double clap, are about the same. I could have built this. Okay, I know that it is a perfect one measure loop. If I highlight it with my grabber tool, Command D, I duplicate it. I just come in here and I give myself my double clap. Done. Okay. Very, very simple. Always multiple ways to deal with this stuff. All right. My scissor track is no longer on a downbeat. So we're done with this. Mute for a moment. I'm going to take this right up to beat 1 of measure 5. So you want to make sure beat 1 or measure 5, beat 1, 0, 0, 0. It's not a perfect, it's not perfect. Its tempo is wrong. What did I say it was? Is it 92? I got to do a quick cheat. Don't worry about this right now. How many measures is this? It is 2, 5, 6, 7. Boom. 71. Okay, so we are going to make sure that we're selected and starting here, 51000. tempo 72. Hit enter. So now when we get to this section, it's going to be slow, like this is a track. For this, we're going to insert battery again. I'm going to use the Eighth Wonder kit. Kick on C2. Snare on D1. Hi-hat on G sharp 1. Basically the same. All right. MIDI editor. Don't worry about these. However, let's talk about this for a second. Right now you can see this pencil is selected on the Dua Lipa drums, and this dot is selected on the Dua Lipa drums. The dot represents what set of MIDI notes you want to see. And if you think about having multiple tracks, you don't want to see them all at the same time. And the pencil is which one is active in terms of what you're listening to. That's the Eighth Wonder kit. It's muted. That's the kit that we use for Dua Lipa, the funk kit. Okay, I'm going to go back and mute that. And I don't need to see this, and I want to hear the scissor drum beat. All right, so this is starting at measure 5. So I come over to 5-1. I can tell you there will be a kick drum on beat 1. Snare drum on beats 2 and 4. It's a 2-measure thing. I'm done, I think. So right now, I only did 2 measures. It is not perfectly. If you remember when I cheated there, it was like 73.3. So you're going to hear a little that our drum beat's a little bit off to the music, but that's fine because we're just going to kind of, it's close enough for me to help you do it. So hi-hats. Listen to the hi-hats first. G sharp. Eighth notes. Because it's only 2 measures, I don't mind just coming in here and doing this for every other one. All right, I showed you the shortcut. Okay, here you can hear that the hi-hat does the 16th notes. So there's one here, and then this one is an open hi-hat sound. So instead of that, we're going to go here. There's many, many better sounds that I could choose from battery, but I just chose, let's keep it simple. We're really just trying to learn how to program drums. All right, now I'm going to focus on the kick drum. I'm not going to listen to my drums. All right, it goes boom, boom, cack. So basically, boom, boom, cack. Boom, boom, cack. Boom, boom, I think. Here, boom, boom, cack. Let's listen to that again. There might be another one here. Okay, so we'll put it. Don't want to argue about it. So it's going to be boom, boom, cack, boom, boom, cack, ba-boom, boom, cack, ba-boom, boom, cack. Let's see what this sounds like without listening to the original. That's basically our scissor loop, okay? How are we going to submit this? It's going to be weird. We're going to unmute the Dua Lipa track, our drums, not the original. I don't want to hear any of the original. Select the first Dua Lipa clip. You can do that either with the grabber tool or with the smart tool using the grabber below the equator. Hold shift. Click on this whole scissor thing. So it's nice and upbeat, little house vibe, disco, and it's going to go into this slow. All right, I just wanted to get 2 tracks that are out there in the world these days and get some drum beats going. So you're going to take these 2, you're going to file, bounce mix, 2 drum beats. It'll have your it doesn't need to have your last name on it. You're submitting it to Canvas. Interleaved, bounce files folder, offline, bounce. Okay. And you're going to submit that to Canvas. As you start submitting a bunch of things to Canvas, this will become clearer, I think. But when you go to Canvas, it might be in the previous assignments bounce files folder. So make sure that it is named based on what you're working in at the moment. Okay? Good luck.